you want to know 5 hacks that are an absolute game changer when reading books, then keep watching. Hack number 1, circling, highlighting, marking up. When you circle a word on a page, watch what happens. This is all about retention, right? So when you circle that one word that means so much to you on that page, watch what your brain does when you're on that page. Your brain will never forget that word. So you want to mark up your page as much as you want with underlines and circles and arrows. If you do parentheses around the sections that mean the most to you, and then you underline those sentences that mean even more to you, then if you circle the word that or the phrase or a number that means like that targeted, that laser focus that you want your brain to see when you're going back and reading this content, and especially if you're going to be tabbing, which is number 2. All right, this is hack number 2, tabbing. So highlighting and marking things up is super awesome, but the ultimate way of retaining what you read is tabbing. A major reason of why this is so epic is you can jump back to right where you left off in 5.5 milliseconds. Like literally, you can take a book and it's on your shelf and you see all those tabs. So let's say something really stood out to you and you take what you learned in hack number 1 and you're circling, you're highlighting, you're underlining, you're doing all these things, you're marking it up with arrows. But then what if you actually want to get to that page within 5 milliseconds? You put a tab. I should set up Amazon affiliates. I haven't even done that. I'll put a little link to the tabs that I use. There's little tabs that I actually use for my contracting books, and it was super helpful just getting straight to the page of the book that I needed. So you have all these books on your shelf, right? And you take one off and you want to remember exactly what you were reading. But what you do when something stands out to you, you write a word, maybe 2 words, maybe 3 words, maybe it's a number, something that triggers your brain to exactly what was on that page, or a quick summary as best as possible to what was on that page. So then you'll see like, oh yeah, I remember kind of what that page was about. So you just go put your thumb on it, go bam, and you're on the page, and whoa, you see all your highlights and your circles and your notes. And this is an absolute game changer. This is like the number 1, this is number 2, but this is like the number 1 coolest aspect of this video. So remember to like this video if you're liking this video, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, and subscribe if you're new. All right, hack number 3 coming up. So for hack number 3, I went with a little more artistic shot with our cabin in the middle of the woods in Blue Ridge, Georgia. So again, highlighting and tabling and circling and even boxes and arrows around words is great. What if each book, when you go and you pull it off your shelf and you either open it to a tab or even an untabbed page, has almost like a personal journal inside of each book? How cool would that be? I think a big key to retention is writing notes. But what if you, instead of a separate journal, all in one, write the notes right on the margins or right within the book itself? So my tip to you is don't be afraid to do this. This is not college. This isn't a college book. This is your book. No one's telling you what to do. You're an adult now, and this is your book. Even if you're not an adult, you can still write in your book, bro. You bought this book. You own this book. This is exciting stuff. You get to make any sort of notes that you want. It could be related to the content on the page, but it doesn't necessarily even have to. It'd be like this date, like this is what I'm going through and this kind of thing, and like, oh man, I remember that. That's so cool. It's like a little ode to your future self, you know? It's just like a super cool thing to do. But for retention, it's very helpful when the content that you're writing on that page is about the content in the book, or summarizing a chapter, or summarizing that page into a couple words. I think hack number 3 here will probably really help you in your retention and your reading. Okay, so the 4th hack is to do what works for you. You're an adult now. When I was a kid, people tried to put me in a box. They told me exactly what to do in school. They said you have to do this thing this way. So a lot of times what works best for me is listening to the book on Audible. I can actually retain about 60 to 70% of a book. I learn best by listening. But if I was to read a book, maybe I'll retain maybe 25, maybe 30% of a book, but I always tend to remember it more when I have heard it. Maybe reading on Kindle is best for you, or whatever. So take all these hacks so far and apply them and do what works best for you. And hack number 5, share it. If you have a team, broadcast it to them. If you have friends, if you have family, tell them about what you're learning. So I've always found that when I want to retain something more, the best way to do that is to teach it. And plus, you're edifying other people. And isn't that the most amazing thing to do as a human here on earth, is to help other people? To me, when I teach, I get the most fulfilled in life. And so I encourage you to spread the knowledge that you're learning with others. So it was really cold out there, literally 30 degrees. My hands were freezing off. I was framing up shots, making this YouTube video. So if you liked it, click the like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We do all kinds of videos on business and entrepreneurship and general contracting. I have a construction business and I share a lot about that. So click the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. And if you don't know where to start with what books to read, click this video as I talk about 25 books that you need to read as a construction business owner. See you over there.